Okay, the next step is to label our streets. So what we're going to do is we're still on the street level. We're going to obviously use the text tool. We've got ours set on Arial and 6, just like on the country maps, or the county maps. And so all you have to do basically is just click, start typing. We're going to start out with W Street, and when you're done, just click the select tool. Now this one doesn't have a very good rotate, so basically you just have to come over here to the transform, which is found in the objects and transform window, and so when you bring that up, it brings it over here to your tool section. And so what we want to do is we want to make this into a, looks like about a 45-degree angle. So if you notice, we have 45, and if you apply it, this is what happens. So this is where you have to remember your coordinate systems in math. So if it doesn't go the right direction, then you have to put a minus sign in front of it and click apply. And of course, when you do that, remember it just, like we did 45 off of that, so it's going to bring it back straight. So if we hit 45 again, it brings it exactly where we want it to be. Alright, so we can just place that right there on top, and then we can try another one. If you want, what I usually do is I'll do them in groups. So I'll do Bingham Street, and then click to select, unselect, do the text, and then do Moffett Street. Same thing, click to select, select the text, Armstrong Street. And what this lets you do is then you can come back, and now you've got these. Now all you have to do is just bring these over here, and we want these to be just a regular 45, positive 45. So if we take that off, we hit apply. That's pretty close. Go to the next one, apply. Go to the next one, apply. So that works really good when you're setting up a bunch of the same things. Then you can kind of tweak them a little bit, move them where you want. I usually put them in between streets. I don't like crossing over like this because it just makes a hard time for identifying. And what you want to do is you want to keep all of your text consistent, because if you don't, then you'll have some that are big, some that are small, and you really want all of your streets to be the same size, the writing on them at least. Alright, now there's another little point that I wanted to show you. If you notice right here, we'll zoom in on this so you can see it. It's got some symbols. Now symbols are good sometimes when you want to use like the interstate sign, or maybe a little box for a farm-to-market road. And if you want to make one of these, that's fine. I use some of these in my maps too. So here's an easy way to do it. Hit the square, and then just come over here and draw you a square. But notice we're going to have to change a couple things. So we go back to our fill and stroke menu. So we're going to go to fill, and we want white in our fill. And you can pick RGB or CMYK or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. Just bring it over to white. So now we've got a white inside, but we want the stroke to be black. So we're going to go back to our K, and it's going to be 100. And then the stroke style, the stroke's a little bit too big. We want it 1 point, or 1 pixel. So that's not too bad. Now we need a little bit of text to go on top of it. So we're going to click on here, and we're going to type in 223. And then of course we select that. We can center that up. And if you really want to get technical with it, so that whenever you move this, so you don't have to select both of them, what you could do is you could just draw a box, select them, and then hit the group tool. So now whenever you move it, it's one piece instead of 2 pieces. The only trick to that is if you're editing a bunch of them, like if you're doing a bunch in a row, what you want to do is you might want to keep them separate, so then you can change the text up and do all that. You can still select the text and everything. You may want to do it, you may not. It's easy to cut and paste, or really cut and clone, rather, with this version, so it's not too bad. Now let's say you want to do something a little bit more complicated, say like this interstate symbol. Now that might take a little bit of trick because what you're going to have to use is you're going to have to use the draw Bezier curves, and then you're going to have to click, make it straight, then make another curve, then make a curve this way, and then you'll have to select with the node tool and even it up, but then you can still do the fill and stroke and do the black line on the outside, the white on the inside. You get a nice little interstate symbol going. Then you can just save it and use it multiple times for different roads, so you don't have to do it more than once. Once is plenty. So this is really a demonstration of how you can label out your streets. When you're done with all that, you're finished with all your streets, what you want to do is come back over to your layers, and of course we don't want these map layers anymore, so what we're going to do is we're going to select a layer with that map, and we're just going to hit the minus sign, and guess what? It's gone. Now we're going to do the next one, layer 1. We're going to get rid of it. Now all you have left is your nice pretty map with all of your streets on it. So now of course then you can go back and you can use the techniques that I showed you in the borders lesson to draw your borders in, and then in the numbering to put your spots with the numbers on them, and then of course the printing section of making your colored printing PDFs so that you can actually print these off, and you can even have all the colors on one. You can select everything on the map. You can then move it over to your big map and have one big map in the center with all of your cities on the outside if you've got a large rural territory. So it works pretty good.